أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Mr. Sanaullah Khan, lecturer in Computer Science, Institute of Computing, Cohort, University of Science and Technology, Cohort. I am the instructor of course Data Science CS 325. Today I want to deliver lecture number 8. The topic is K-means clustering algorithm. So this is the recommended and reference book for this topic. Introduction to Machine Learning with Python, and second one is the Introduction to Machine Learning. This is the outline of the today's lecture. First we will differentiate supervised vs unsupervised, which is already discussed in lecture number 3, and then we will discuss K-mean clustering algorithm, some example relevant to K-mean clustering algorithm, and then summary of the today lecture. So what is mean by supervised learning algorithm? Supervised learning means to teach or train the machine using data, means given some data to the machine and then train on these data. After that we will using this training procedure prediction model to predict the test unknown data. These trained data will be well labeled. That means some data is already tagged with correct answer, means label mean with some correct answer, provided with new set of example data, so that supervised learning algorithm analyzes the training data, set up training example and produce and correct outcome from label data. Means that first of all we will give some label data, means a data with some output. After that we want to check the accuracy of the system, we give some data without any output. Now it is the responsibility of the model to predict the unknown data and their answer or their label data without any trainings. So this is the flowchart models, or black diagrams through which machine learning work, like a supervised. This is the some training example. It may be a text document, it may be a images, it may be some sound, or it may be other type of data. First of all, some features are extracted from this data and then combine it and create a feature vectors, and this feature vector is given to the machine learning algorithm for trainings. Not only input data is given, as well as their output, means in the form of label, is also given to the machine learning. After that some new document without any label is given, and it is the responsibility of the system to extract some features and then given to predicted model. Machine learning, which is already trained, gives their expertise in training or patterns to this predictive model and then compare with this feature vector of the new item and then extracted some labels, some output relevant to these given new item. For example, this is the items in the form of images like apple, orange, banana and so on, and these are the labels relevant to these items. It is given to the model and then these extract some feature like color, shapes, etc., and then train itself. After that when we give some another fruit image, then the system get their features and then compare with the previously stored feature. If it match, then it will provide the result that this is the apple or banana or some else. Supervised learning given level examples. Supervised learning are basically solve two type of problem, which is called regression and classification. Regression mean to predict the result in the continuous form like temperature, weather forecasting, etc., while by classification we means to predict the result in the categorical form like yes, no, benign, malignant, etc. Classification can be divided into two types. One is called as binary classification and another one is called as multiple classification. By binary classification, we means to classify the result in just in two form: yes, no, true, false, benign, malignant, male, female, etc. While by multi-classification, we mean to classify the result in multi-class like grade A, B, C, D, etc. The second one, opposite to the supervised learning, is called is unsupervised learning. Unlike supervised learning, no teacher is provided. That means no training will be given to the machine. Means data will be given to the system without any label or without any results. So algorithms are left to their own devices to discover and present the structure on in the data. Extract some patterns from the data. So this is the scenario where we want to present the unsupervised learning. This is the data items. It may be text, document, image, and sound. It will be given to the system. First of all, their feature will be extracted and then combine it in feature vectors given to the machine learning. These feature actual patterns. It may be like a shape, like a sound frequency, like a different types other features. So after that, we giving the new items for testing purpose. First of all, its feature will be extracted and then patterns of the training and patterns of the testing will be compared, and after that a probabilistically result will be given and create a cluster groups and put these items to in one group of the given groups. So this is the results. These are the images. First of all, their feature will be extracted and create a classes like apple class and banana class. After that, when some items are given, it will check their patterns with the previously stored patterns and then decide to put in which class these item is. Unsupervised learning, given data I example but with no label, without any answer. So the basic themes of unsupervised learning algorithm is clustering. So what is meant by clustering? Clustering is the classification of object into different groups, or more precisely the partitioning of a data set into subset means cluster or groups, so that the data in each subject ideally shares some common threads often according to some defined distance measure. Because the clustering are created on the basis of distance measure. By distance, it doesn't mean that it is a physical distance. By distance, it means that similarity of the patterns which is more nearly to the clusters. Types of cluster. One is hierarchical algorithm. These find successive cluster using previously established clusters. Agglomerative in a bottom-up approach, agglomerative algorithm begin with each element as a separate cluster and merge them into successfully large cluster. First of all, small cluster, it start from small cluster and then combine all these cluster and create a larger cluster. Divisive top-down approach. In this approach, it start from the whole set means combined cluster and then process divide into successively smaller cluster, means from whole data set it's divided different type of clusters. Partitional cluster. Partitional algorithm determine all cluster at once. They include k-mean and derivatives cluster, fuzzy C-mean clustering, and QT clustering algorithm. Today we will discuss the k-means clustering algorithms. There are some common distance measurements are also used for the purpose of calculating the similarity index and then putting in this cluster. First one is Euclidean distance, also called 2 normal distance, is given by the formula. This is the Euclidean distance formula. The maintained distance, also called taxi cab normal or 1 normal, is given by this formula. So this formula is, these two formulas are used for the distance measurements problems. So common distance measure, some other formulas are also present. The maximum normal is given by these equations where maximum values will be found. Nobis distance, which means correct data for different scale and correlation in the variable. Inner product space, the angle between two vectors can be used as a distance measure when clustering high dimensional data. Hamming distance, sometime edit distance, also called, measure the minimum number of substitution required to change one member into another. But more probably we are using the Euclidean distance formula for the measurements of similarity index. So what is the k-mean clustering algorithm? K-mean clustering is an unsupervised learning algorithm that is used to solve the clustering problems in machine learning or data science. Clustering problem mean grouping problems. So in this topic we will learn what is the k-mean clustering algorithm, how the algorithm works along with the Python implementation of k-mean clustering. So k-mean clustering is the unsupervised learning algorithm which groups the unlabeled data set into different cluster. Here k define the number of predefined cluster that need to be created in the process. Is if k is equal to 2 means that there will be two cluster or two groups, and for k is equal to 3 means there will be a 3 cluster, and so on. So it is an iterative algorithm that divides the unlabeled data set into k different cluster in such a way that each data set belongs only one group that has similar properties. So it is also allow the cluster the data into different groups in a convenient way to discover the categories of groups in the unlabeled data set on its own without the need for any trainings. So it is a centroid based algorithm where each cluster is associated with centroids. By centroids we mean the center value, central tendency, like mean values. If there is a 3 cluster comings, then combination of these 3 new centroid will be the average of these data points. So the main aim of this algorithm is to minimize the sum of distance between the data points in their corresponding clusters. So the algorithm takes the unlabeled data set as an input, divide the data set into k numbers of clusters like 2, 3 and 4, and repeats the process until it does not find the best cluster. So the value of k should be predetermined in this algorithm, like user only set it will be 2, 3 and so on. So this is the flow chart for the k-mean clustering algorithm. Here input is coming, then number of cluster of k will be decided. First of all, it is randomly. Let's suppose I want to decide there will be a 2 cluster, and then find out their centroids, center values that will be randomly selected. Now many objects or data points are available. Now what we want to do, we want to do that measure the distance between each points or data points with its corresponding centroid. If the measures the data minimum measure distance is coming with the centroid, then it will be put into this cluster. Otherwise in the another one, group based on minimum distance, and then no object repeats again until no object moving groups there are completely groups each and every object, then stop it. So here we want to elaborate this problem with examples. Let's suppose there are the data sets, that's the data points or 5 data points. So they would like to AGK is equal to 5. We want to create 5 groups like group 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what we will do, randomly guess cluster center location. Here this is the center location, this is the center location, this is the center location, and this one is the center location. After that, what we want to do, each data points finds out which center it is closest, this each center on its set of points. Now a comparison according to the distance, which one will be nearest, then it will be put in this center. So no data points will be nearest to this centroid, therefore it is a remain separate cluster for itself. After that, we want to find out each center Each center finds the centroid of the points it owns. Now then we find the centroid's value for each points here not shown, but here is also 1 points in the green circle. So this points is located to this centroid, this is located to this, and this is new, it is a new centroid value. So after that and jumps there and repeat these steps until determine that each centroid is put in their own places. After a new slide, some example is coming, practical mathematical example. Inshallah you will be covered these points from here. So this is example. Suppose this is a problem. Suppose we have a 4 type of medicine, okay, and each has 2 attributes. Attribute first is pH and the second attribute is weight index. So our goal is to group these objects into K2, means 2 cluster or group of medicine will be created. So this is a medicine A, B, C, D, and this is their corresponding attributes. 1 for medicine A weight is 1, for medicine B weight is 2, for medicine C weight is 4, for medicine D weight is 5. This is the pH index. So for medicine A pH index is 1, for medicine B pH index is 1, for medicine C pH index is 3, and for D pH index is 4. If we want to draw on the graph, that it will be look like this. This is the attributes 2 and this is the attributes 1. So for medicine 1 weight is 1, so it is a weight 1, and their pH index is also 1, so it is also 1. So it plotted here. So therefore we want to check the medicine B. So weight is 2 and their pH index is 1. It will be look like this. After that we check the C. Weight is 4 and their corresponding pH index is 3. It will be plotted here. For D weight is 5 and corresponding their pH index is 4. It will be plotted here. This is the graph based approach for this medicine and show on the graphs. So now we want to create a 2 groups. As we know that first step is initialize value of centroid. Suppose it is randomly initialized. Suppose we use a medicine A and medicine B is the first centroid. So we giving names C1 and C2 denote the coordinate of the centroid. Then C1 is 1 1 because medicine A weight is 1, pH index is 1. So first centroid value is 1 1 and the second centroid value is 2 1 because medicine B weight is 2 and their index pH index is 1. So the red star show that these 2 points is selected for centroid. Now what we will do that each points, let's suppose A, it will be compare with this centroid point using Euclidean distance and their measurement. If it is minimum, then it will be put in this cluster. After that we will check A with B, same B with A, B with B, C with A, C with B, D with A, D with B. After this calculation using the Euclidean distance, we will find out that their minimum distance, and then we will decide that where to put the data points in which cluster. So this is the mathematical approach. So object centroid distance, we calculate the distance between cluster centroid to each object. Let's use Euclidean distance. Then we have distance matrix at iteration 0 in the first steps. So each column in the distance matrix symbolize the objects. So the first row of the distance matrix, this is called this distance matrix. The first row show that the distance of each object to the first centroid, and the second row show the distance of each object to the second centroid. This is the distance. So how this distance is coming? It is calculated by using this formula. Let's suppose distance of A with centroid 1. Where A elements is 1 weight and 1 pH index. Same is the case. The C1 is also selected as A is element also 1 and 1. So by formula 1 minus 1 whole square means x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square square root, and then 1 minus 1 becomes 0. plus 1 minus 1 becomes 0, 0 square plus 0 square is equal to 0, 0 square root again equal to 0. So the first element is come as 0. After that we will calculate the distance of A with centroid 2, which is 1 minus 2. 2 is the element of C2, like this. C2 is 2 and 1. So 1 minus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 1 whole square, it become 1 minus 2 minus 1 whole square, minus 1 square is equal to 1, plus 1 minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. So 1 square root is equal to 1. For B element, we will check the distance with the C1. So 2 minus 1 whole square plus 1 minus 1, because C1 is equal to 1 and 1, and B value is equal to 2 and 1, because 2 is the weight and 1 is the index. So 2 minus 1 whole square plus 1 minus 1 whole square, it become 1 square plus 0 square again 1. Same B with 2, it becomes 0. Same C with C1, C value is 4 and 1. So 4 and 3, 4 minus 1 whole square plus 3 minus 1 whole square. So 4 minus 1 whole square is equal to 3 square, plus 3 minus 1 whole square is equal to 2 square. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So 5 whole square is equal to 3 square plus 2 square. 3 square means 9, plus 2 square means 4. So 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. So 13 square root is equal to 3.61. Same is the case for C with C2, it become 2.83. Same for D1 become 5 and 4.2. So this is the group's measurements values of the centroid. So first one 0, which is most relevant to centroid 1, means 1 and 1, 0 and 1, which is most relevant to 1 and 1. So we will put, this is the group 1, and then this 2, 4 and 5, it will be put into the group 2. After that we calculate that Euclidean distance values gave us that the first value is put in the centroid 1, and the 2, 3 and 4 will be put to the centroid 4 values. Okay, so let's see. This show compute new centroid of the current position. Now we want to select another centroid. We assign each object based on the minimum distance. Median A is assigned to group 1 and median B is assigned to group 2. So median C to group 2 and median D also assigned to group 2. So the element of group matrix below is 1 if and only if the object is assigned to the group 1. So 1 show that the element 1 assigned to group 1 and 0 element 2 assigned to group not group 1. 0 means that it is not assigned to group 1. 1 means that it is assigned to group 1. So 0 mean in the second row that it is not assigned to the group 2. All other 3 are assigned to the group 2. Now we want to calculate the second and third centroid. So C1 will be 1 1. Let's suppose it's also clear. And the second centroid will be the average of these centroids. Average is 2 plus 4, first element 2 plus 4, which is called weight of B, C and D. Weight is 2 plus 4 plus 3, divide by 3 and comma. The index of the B, C and D is 1 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to divide by 3 items. Then it become 11 divided by 3 comma 8 divided by 3. So it is the new centroid values. Now we want to check the each data points and calculate the distance measure with these two centroids. After that it becomes that it is the cluster 1 and it is the cluster 2. Now we will check calculate the distance between the data points with these centroids. So A will be calculated with this, B will with this, C and D also. Again A value will be calculated with this, B will be calculated with this, and C and D also. So after calculation the result look like this. After with C1 group 1 and C2 group 2, its calculation, it's look like this. The values become like this. This is the new iteration 2. This is the one centroid cluster. This is the second cluster. Again we calculate same procedure, and then using distance measure to calculate the procedure. At the final repeat first 2 steps until its coverage. At the final look like this, that median A feature 1 2 it become in group 1, medicine B in group 1, same medicine C occurred in group 2, and medicine D occurred in group 2. So we get the final grouping as the result is, and then we terminate the K-mean clustering. So summary, in this lecture we discussed the basic of supervised, unsupervised. Then after that we discuss the clustering techniques, that how it will work, and then we also discussed the K-mean clustering with some examples. After that we will discuss another techniques of relevant to clustering in the coming new lectures. Thanks you for watching the video. Thank you so much.